for life's purpose. Lifelong contentment will come from the fulfillment of my dharma, I asked. Most certainly, from dharma springs inner harmony and lasting satisfaction. Dharma is based upon the ancient principle that says every one of us has a heroic mission whilst we walk this earth. We have all been granted a unique set of gifts and talents that will readily allow us to realize this life work. The key is to discover them and in doing so discover the main objective of your life. I interrupted Julian. It's sort of what you were saying earlier about risk taking. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't follow. Yes, it may seem as though you are forced to take a few risks to discover what you are best at and the essence of your life's purpose. Many people quit jobs that have stifled their progress the moment they discover the true purpose of their existence. There is always the apparent risk that comes with self-examination and soul-searching, but no, because there is never a risk in discovering yourself. And the mission of your life, self-knowledge is the DNA of self-enlightenment. It is a very good indeed, essential thing. What is your dharma, Julian? I asked casually, attempting to mask my burning curiosity. Mine is simple to selflessly serve others. Remember, you will not find true joy in sleeping, in relaxing, or in spending your time like an idler. As Benjamin Disraeli said, the secret of success is constancy of purpose. The happiness you are searching for comes through reflecting on the worthy aims you are dedicated to achieving and then taking action daily to advance them. This is a direct application of the timeless philosophy which prescribes that those things which are most important should never be sacrificed to those things which are the least important. The lighthouse in Jogi Raman's fable will always remind you of the power of setting clearly defined purposeful goals and most importantly of having the character powerful to act on them. Over the course of the next few hours, I learned from Julian that all highly developed, fully actualized people understand the importance of exploring their talents, uncovering their personal purpose, and then applying their human gifts in the direction of this calling. Some people selflessly serve humanity as physicians, others as artists. Some people discover that they are powerful communicators and become wonderful teachers, whilst others come to realize that their legacy will be in the form of innovations in the field of business or science. The key is to have the discipline and vision to see your heroic mission and to ensure that it serves other people while you realize it. Is this a form of goal setting? Goal setting is the starting point. Mapping your objectives and your goals releases the creative juices which get you on the path of your purpose. Believe it or not, Yogi Raman and the other sages were very hot on goals. You are kidding. Highly effective monks living deep in the Himalayan mountains who meditate all night and set goals all day. I love it. John always judged by results. Look at me. Sometimes I don't even recognize myself when I look in the mirror. My once unfulfilling existence has been replaced by one rich with adventure, mystery, and excitement. I am young again and enjoy vibrant health. I am truly happy. The wisdom I am sharing with you is so potent and so important and so life-giving that you simply must stay open to it. I am Julian. I really am. Everything you have said makes perfect sense, although some of the techniques do sound a little odd, but I have promised to try them and I will. I agree that this information is powerful. If I have seen farther than others, it is simply because I have stood on the shoulders of great teachers, replied Julian with humility. Here's another example. Yogi Raman was an expert archer, a true master, to illustrate his philosophy on the importance of setting clearly defined objectives in every aspect of one's life and fulfilling one's mission. He offered a demonstration I will never forget. Near where we were sitting there was a magnificent oak tree. The sage pulled one of the roses from the garland he habitually wore and placed it on the center of the trunk. He then pulled three objects from the large knapsack that was his constant companion whenever he ventured to distant mountain climbs, such as the one we were visiting. The first object was his favorite bow, made of a wonderfully fragrant yet sturdy sandalwood. The second item was an arrow. The third object was a lily white handkerchief, the kind I used to wear in the pocket of my expensive suits to impress judges and juries, Julian added apologetically. Yogi Raman then asked Julian to put the handkerchief over his eyes as a blindfold. How far away from the rose am I? Yogi Raman asked his pupil. 100 feet, Julian gasped. Have you ever observed me in my daily practice of this ancient sport of archery? The sage queried, in full knowledge of the response that would come. I have seen you strike the bull's eye from a mark almost 300 feet away, and I cannot recall a time that you have ever missed at your current distance. Julian noticed dutifully. Then, with his eyes covered by the cloth and his feet placed securely in the earth, the teacher drew the bow with all his energy and released the arrow, aiming directly at the rose hanging from the tree. The arrow struck the large oak with a thud, missing its mark by an embarrassingly large distance. I thought you were going to display more of your magical abilities, Yogi Raman. What happened? We have traveled to this isolated place for one reason only. I have agreed to reveal all my worldly wisdom to you. Today's demonstration is meant to reinforce my advice on the importance of setting clearly defined objectives in your life. And knowing precisely where you are going, what you just saw confirms the most important principle for anyone seeking to attain their goals and to fulfill their life's purpose. Yet, you will never be able to hit a target that you cannot see. People spend their whole lives dreaming of becoming happier, living with more vitality, and having an abundance of passion. Yet they do not see the importance of taking even 10 minutes a month to write out their goals and to think deeply about the meaning of their lives. Their dharma, goal setting will make your life magnificent. Your world will become richer, more delightful, and more magical. You see, Julian, our ancestors have taught us that setting clearly defined objectives for what we desire in our mental, physical, and spiritual world is critical to their realization. In the world you came from, people set financial and material goals. There is nothing wrong with this if this is what you value. However, to attain self-mastery and inner enlightenment, you must set concrete objectives in other areas as well. Would it surprise you to know that I have clearly defined objectives with respect to the peace of mind I desire, the energy I bring to each day, and the love that I offer to all those around me? Goal setting would do well to take out a piece of paper and start writing out their life aims. At the very moment that this is done, natural forces will come into play which start to transform these dreams into reality. What I was hearing fascinated me when I was a football player in high school. My coach had constantly spoken of the importance of knowing what we wanted from every game. Know your outcome. What was his personal creed for life's purpose? Life